By special request, I was asked to do a tutorial for this bead wheel necklace. I designed this years and years ago, but it's a really nice piece, especially when you've got leftover beads and a stash that you want to get rid of, and you just want to put colours together, mixed selection of colours together. So you need to make large circles. I used the head of my hammer to create the circles, or you can of course use a mandrel, but that gives you the size of the circles that I'm making for this particular piece. But really any size will do as long as it's not too small. So you're creating a ring, but you've got to have the overlap. So you want about just under an inch of overlap. The more you leave, the bigger the sort of end fastening will be. So you want to make 5 or 7 of these coils or rings, and you can sort of match them up and just check they're roughly the same size every time. So cut all your circles. So I'm going to make 7, and then take your round nose pliers and form a little loop. So it's a little circular loop at one end of the ring. Then just bend that up to a right angle to the rest of the frame. And now you can start threading your beads. Now, not all beads will be able to fit around a circular shape. So just, take a selection, and then you'll just have to, play by ear really. Just try them on. So start feeding your beads on. I'm never sort of think too hard about this. I just know that I've got my color palette, and then I'm just going to pick up roughly about 8 to 10 depending on the size I'm using, and I try to have some similar ones to spread across the circles so that there is a sort of continuity to the color palette or color theme. But you could go crazy with, making these in each circle in a different color. So as long as they can thread on to 0.8 millimeter. So now I'm just opening a little bit of that circle. See that first loop that I made? I've just slightly opened it so that I can feed in that wire, so it's threaded through now, the end of that wire. And then to secure the circle together, the loop of beads, I'm going to create a very small spiral. So I'm coiling or curling the wire around and around, and until it reaches the fastening loop. And then you could leave it there, but I tend to flick it over, and then I squash it down over the loop. And what that means is it covers the loop underneath. Really doesn't matter how you finish these off, but that sort of flattens the whole circle into one. So you've got the spiral flattened over the loop below. So same thing for each of them, except this time you want to link one to another. So make that very end link, twist it so it sits at right angles to the rest, start feeding on whatever beads will go onto the wire. And as I say, you could do this with thicker wire, but you just have to make sure that the beads are able to thread onto your wire. And the beauty of just putting loose beads on is they will move, and they're not wired onto the circles. So if you wire them onto the circles, they don't have that movement. So it's just a sort of haphazard collection. See, that one doesn't fit, so I'll have to pick something else. And you'll find that we can always use that later on in the necklace chain. So to link them together, feed the rings onto each other before you close them, and that's how you get that chain of beaded rings. And now feed the end into the loop to secure, close it up, and go to the opposite end, the projecting end. Try not to throw it around like I do. And create a tiny or a small little spiral that will act as a sort of headpin closure. It stops it from slipping through. And then fold that over and then do a bit of squishing down. And of course you've got to be careful when you do this so that you don't distort the circular frame. So I'm going to continue with this technique all the way through to link my 7 beaded, well it's 5 more, isn't it, together. So now I've whizzed ahead. I'm on my last circle. That bead didn't fit either. Let's try another one. You can sometimes just twist them. I'm going to see if I can do this. Just keep twisting the bead around and around to get it to sit on the wire. So here I go, twisting, 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 twisting. It can distort the end of the circle, so I'm going to have to, there we go. I've got it on by hook or by crook, but I have distorted the circular shape. So just put it back on your mandrel and then continue with threading. Just make sure it's not distorted. Usually once you've made your circle, it sort of has a memory and it will go back to that shape. So continue threading all the beads that will fit. And usually I would say, yeah, it's about 7 or 8 beads, but that really is dependent on the size. And I'm nearly there now, so let's get these last few beads on. And this will be my last beaded circle. So thread that on to make the chain, open up the link, feed the end of the wire through the link, close that little circle, and then create a spiral with a projecting end of wire that will act as a stopper. So you're coiling and you go until that circular shape is made, and then flip it over. And yes, it does take a bit of practice. So I have made a few of these in the past. So, but honestly, you don't see each one because you get, when you link this together, you get this sort of effect of just seeing all these beads in a jumble. So we now have a chain of beaded circles ready to make the sides of the necklace. And I always make these necklaces long so they hang down. They're not close to the neck, you know, they're sort of so I'm going to either make a chain, but I think what I'm going to do, I've got some leftover beads, so I'm just going to thread a few of these together as I had picked them out to put on the circle. So I may as well, these can go on the sides of the necklace. So you could do the whole thing beaded on the side. So this is for the other side. I've done one. This is the other side. Just make links on each side. Again, I'm using 0.8mm 20 gauge wire. You can use any wire that will thread through your beads. Make sure your links are all sitting on the same plane. And here I've got some ready-made jump rings. So I'm going to link a jump ring first of all onto the end of one of the beaded circles, link in my side piece and connect it and secure it. And that will suspend on one side. Having looked at that, I've changed it now. I put 5 jump rings before my beaded links because I felt the beads on the side were too close together to the beaded circle, so I've just redone that. And now for the back of the necklace, I've continued with 5 more jump rings, and I'm going to thread this suede cord. You could put a chain, obviously, and then I'm going to use some 0.4mm wire, so I need 2 pieces for each side. And I'm just going to fold. I've threaded it through the last jump ring, and I'm folding it to double it up, and then I'm going to bind it tightly with 0.4mm wire, just binding wire, to hold that in place. I'm just going to grip it, continue, because I used the center of the binding wire, so I've got 2 ends to bind. I'm just continuing with one length on one side, making sure it's nice and neat and scooched together, and then I've got the other end. And to finish off, I'm going to take the end of that wire and just put it between the double cord, and I cut it so that it sits in there so nothing's poking out, and then I can cut the excess cord off, and it's sort of hidden in between, sort of sandwiched it away. With the end, you can cut it off, or if you're spiral mad like me, I just find them so decorative. You can use up the projecting end and spiral that tiny thin 0.4 wire up to the cord, fold it over the binding, and it just sort of, you just squish it down. It just adds a nice little decorative finish to the side of the necklace where the binding comes, or where the cord comes. So that's how you fix, or you can fix cord, particularly flat cord like this, or ribbon. So you might want to use ribbon. Anything goes. You can make your own chain. You could, with figure of 8 links and jump rings, you can make a beaded necklace for the rest, or just use a ready-made chain. So again, bind the doubled up cord. Make sure it's tightly bound and flattened. Then take the end nearest away from the beaded circles and just put it, sort of sandwich it in between, flatten it down and cut off the excess cord, and then it's hidden away. And again, I'm going to spiral the projecting end to create a little bit more ornamentation. I mean, it's so small, but always with handmade jewellery, these little extra details are so important, and they just show the difference between something that's mass produced and is not labour intensive, and something that is handmade, maybe a little bit wobbly and wonky, but it's got that character to it and extra detail. So there you have it. you've got a ready-made necklace that can go over the head and looks great with whatever outfit you want to wear it with. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy making your own, and see you soon again. Bye for now.